Hi, it's Ben here from Somerset Foodie. We're in a little bit of a different location today. I'm actually in our warehouse in Road, and I'm cooking today with my landlord, Mr. Tim Fussell.
Well, hello, Ben. This is quite interesting, isn't it? This new sort of relationship, collaboration that we have, because we've known each other for a number of years, but I'm really interested to see what you're doing today.
So we're going to do today a really great Spanish peasant dish that has chorizo, it's got onions, it's got peppers, it's got garlic, and it's a perfect little one-pot wonder for people who want to do a quick midweek supper that's really simple and easy to do, not many ingredients. So let's crack on really. So I've got a pan on the heat, it's quite hot. I'm going straight in with a little bit of cold pressed rapeseed oil, which I use all the time for frying. So
and there's good reason. There's good reason for using the rapeseed oil, isn't there, Ben?
Well, from what I've learned is that if you use rapeseed oil for frying, you get a much higher smoke point, so the integrity of the oil is maintained throughout the whole cooking process.
Do you know what? I couldn't have said that better myself. It's really interesting to know. With that rapeseed oil, you can see you put it straight into a hot pan as well, and that you can almost hear that sizzling straight away. And what are we doing to the onions here?
So what we want to do is we want to cook these onions down for quite a while actually. This is probably one of the longer parts of the job that you need to do, and we want to get a nice little bit of caramelisation on those onions, but we're going to get started with those. Now Tim, I need you to chop up some peppers.
Right, okay.
So I just want you to slice them up reasonably thinly, because they're going to go in there. And I'm going to slice up a few little cloves of garlic as well. So those onions can just flip away, and we can just get on with these little jobs here.
So tell me about this chorizo that you're using, Ben, because it's not a cured chorizo, is it?
No, so these are cooking chorizos. So the difference really is that you get a cured chorizo, which is hard and you can slice it. And a cooking chorizo has all the same flavours. It's got all that paprika and it's got all that lovely pork in there, but it's just not cured. By using a non-cured sausage, we get a really soft texture in the end result. A cured chorizo can go a little bit hard and sort of rubbery in this stew. So I want you to get those peppers.
So how have I done? Is that all right?
Not bad.
Not bad. Marks out of 10 for that, or do you want me to make them a bit smaller?
No, they're fine, mate.
They're fine. Look at that.
I think these can go in.
There we are.
Let's get all these in. So we've used 2 onions and 2 peppers, and we've used 5 cloves of garlic, which I know sounds a lot, but honestly, we want to just get some amazing flavours in this pan. So what we just have to do now is let that cook down for about 10 minutes. Right, Tim, so these onions are now cooked really nicely down.
They look and smell absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and just
how long have they been cooking for?
So they've been about 10 minutes. You can just see, look, they're just going a little bit golden. There's no kind of burntness on them, but that's that lovely sugar coming out, which will be really sweet. It's now time to whack in the chorizo.
And this is the bit I've been looking forward to. So we've had to skin these, is that right?
So so if you cook these just on their own, you don't have to skin them, but into a stew, it's really good just to take the skin off. So what I do is just quickly run a little knife down it like that, and the skin, they come away really easily. You just peel that back and pull that off.
Off it comes.
And then we'll just literally, I'm doing it on a kind of angle like that, into quite nice big chunks really.
And all that's going to go into the...
So all that's going to go in now, and you'll get all this lovely paprika-y kind of oil going through.
So that's the oil coming out of the sausage, mixing now with the onions and the peppers.
Yeah.
I mean I'm starting to get really hungry just looking at this.
And then in this kind of stage as well, I'm going to whack in one of these bad boys. Now this is a bit optional, but I love it. And what I love about this dish is that we've got all these kind of smoky flavours going on. So
and what is that?
So this is a chipotle. It's a chipotle chili, which...
But that looks like something's happened to it. What's happened?
Yeah, so it's been smoked.
Yeah.
So it starts out life as a jalapeno.
Yeah.
And then it gets smoked and dried, and it now gets called a chipotle.
A chipotle, so it goes from a jalapeno
Yeah.
and that just goes in a one.
I'm just going to put that in a one,
Yeah.
and what that's going to do, if I wanted it really much hotter, I would probably chop it up. But that's just going to go in and impart a little bit chili heat and that lovely smokiness.
Which is just going to come through the dish.
Which is going to come through the dish. Yeah, we're just going to now cook these chorizos down for another sort of 5 minutes. Right, so that is looking and smelling amazing. Those chorizo sausages, and you can see that lovely kind of fat that's coming out. That is going to be...
That is just going to be delicious, isn't
I know.
it?
I mean, cooking with chorizos, it's almost like cheating. It's because they taste so good.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is whack a bay leaf in.
Yeah.
And I've got a little bit of this. I need a teaspoon.
Do you need a teaspoon?
Yeah.
One of those, right? I know where they are. There we are.
So we're just going to pop a little bit of this. This is great stuff. We sell this. This is just going
So that's it. Of course, that's the other interesting thing to note that all of these products, are, of course, they're available from the Somerset Foodie, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. So we're just going to go in with a nice teaspoon of that hot. I'm using the hot smoked paprika.
Yeah, that looks delicious as well.
And that is really coming on a treat now. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit on that.
That's it. You've got it.
And then
Next.
And then
secret ingredient.
yeah, here we go. So just going to give that little toss around. Sherry vinegar. So again, we talked about acid. So what I need you to do, Tim,
Yep.
is we're going to add a couple of tomatoes. These are bog standard tomatoes, nothing fancy about them at all. And I just need you to chop them up roughly, really, because they're going to go in. But what I'm going to do right now is just add that fat that's gone into that pan is going to be brilliant, just counteracted with a little tablespoon or couple of tablespoons of sherry vinegar.
Of sherry vinegar.
Just smell that.
Oh my goodness, that spells of Spain, doesn't it?
You've got those tomatoes
I've got these
ready.
tomatoes. I think these are ready. How am I doing here?
Yeah, no, pretty good there. So you can just whack them in. Lovely. And then really, we've got, you know, look at this.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
So now we can just, basically, I've just got some basic potatoes here.
Does it matter what kind of potatoes these are?
You can use any potato you like, really. At this time of year, we're using a kind of, you know, larger kind of Maris Piper type potatoes.
Yeah.
But you can use any potatoes you like, really. So why don't you chop them up a little bit as well? So I'm just going to kind of quarter them into little bits like that, really.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much now ready just to.
What have we got left to go in?
So we've just got to add, to make it a stew, we need to add some liquid. So I've got behind me some chicken stock. I've just made this up with a bouillon or a cube or anything you've got, really. What we're going to do is just get everything covered. And I'm probably ending up only using about a litre, really. Just like that. And then all we need to do here is bring this up to the boil and simmer this for probably about 20 minutes, half an hour. All we're trying to do is get the potatoes to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can go and have a glass of wine.
And get on with something else.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Right, I don't know about you, my glass of wine was fantastic.
At this time of day as well.
I know,
So
crikey.
this has been stewing for how long now?
So this has been cooking for about half an hour. All we've really tried to do is reduce that liquid a bit,
Yeah.
so you can see that liquid's reduced down quite a bit, and just cook those potatoes.
So they're quite soft.
They're
Look
just
at that.
soft.
Yes,
yeah?
yes they are. Yeah.
So all we really need to do now is just add in our cannellini beans,
Yeah.
and again, we just need to cook that for another sort of few minutes just to get those beans warm
through because they're already cooked essentially.
Exactly.
Aren't they?
Yeah. Right, so those beans have warmed through nicely. We're just going to quickly chop this parsley up, leave that pretty rustic.
Because the whole theme of the dish is pretty rustic anyway, isn't it?
I mean, peasant food, honestly, is some of the best we really find. So yeah, we'll sprinkle a little bit of that over the actual dish itself, and then we're just going to serve this with a lovely rustic. This is some of our ciabatta that we sell, and here we go. So let's get our ladle in on this. Get some of those real nice chunks of potato.
I'm being taken to Spain right now.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
So and let's just finish that again with a little bit more of that, and then finally,
the pièce de résistance.
The pièce de résistance. We just give it that little smoky finish with a drizzle of that.
Oh my goodness gracious me!
That's it, mate. There we go. That's our chorizo potato and bean stew, and I can't wait to tuck in, mate.
Well, I suppose let's dig in.
That's great. I mean, the flavours in there are just super heavenly. And you've got that real smokiness at the end from the oil. It's really great.
I'm going to have to agree with everything you've said there, Ben. It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah. And honestly, a nice winter's evening, a steaming bowl full of this, a hunk of bread, nice glass of red wine.
What more could you want?
Mate, life doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, so if you want any of the ingredients here, somersetfoodie.com. We've got everything available. We really hope you give this recipe a try at home and look forward to seeing you next time.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.